So on the screen right now, you can see our operating system. It's our three-part process that we teach all throughout the year. And it focuses on the three things that B2B business owners just simply need to get right. Yes, you need to have a frictionless sales process. You need a predictable leads engine. You need some sort of presence and authority strategy. Get those three things right, and it's very difficult to fail. Have one of those things not quite right, and you'll always be struggling. So at this point in time, we're focusing on this part of the puzzle, our frictionless sales process. And to do that, we can break it into three parts. There are frictionless offers, which is the offer that we make, which is different to the proposal. It's different to what it is that you do. We can have frictionless conversations. Now, this is the sales piece where you're engaging with a potential customer or client, which is a combination of frameworks and soft skills. And then we have frictionless funnels. And this is the automation piece, when we can build trust and rapport and manage our follow-up largely on autopilot. You might have noticed right here that once again, we have three circles. This is because when I'm teaching and training, I use a process that I call my cascading trios. And it helps me identify the most important things that our people need to focus on. So for example, to bring it right at the top, where we're flying in our plane 30,000 feet, yep, frictionless sales, predictable leads, authority, and social presence. We get those three things right. But however, if we want to dive deeper into one of these things, we can do it again. And we can focus on your offer, the sales piece, and the automation piece, because we go deeper. Again, as I said, it's a process that we call cascading trios. So here we are again, frictionless sales process, one of the three big pieces, diving down into frictionless offers, which is where we are right now. And then I can break that down again into three parts. So if you want a frictionless sales process, you're going to need frictionless offer, frictionless conversations, frictionless funnels. If we focus on the frictionless offers piece, you're going to need three things: a high no-brainer offer, an offer doc that you can simply present to someone, and a power offer framework, which will allow you to present your offer to people via email, via ads, at networking events, and have them immediately go, I get that. So that's what we're going to be focusing on over the next 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. Then the following 3 weeks after that, we're going to focus on this one, and we're going to go down into that. Then the following couple days after that, we're going to have a 3-day accelerator where we're going to build something together. How cool is that? So right now, high no-brainers. Just to remind you, what's a high no-brainer? And we talked about this last week. Your customers and clients are going on a journey. They're starting as a stranger, then they're moving to suspects zone, then prospect, then client. At the different stages, they're experiencing different things. They're going from headaches to obstacles to aspirations and desires. If it's a stranger, let's give them a gift, something like a lead magnet. Keep it simple. If they're a suspect, let's book a productized meeting, something that we call an appointment with purpose. Oops, P, there we go. Once someone enters the prospect zone, what do? We offer them a high no-brainer. And then finally, after we've introduced our high no-brainer, we can introduce some sort of monthly recurring revenue or continuity product. So where are we at right now? We're talking about this piece of the puzzle, high no-brainer. Why? Because smaller promises get faster decisions. If we can offer a gift, a meeting, a high no-brainer before introducing our continuity product or service, what we are doing is we are offering smaller things, which means that smaller promises get faster decisions. So what is this piece, the high no-brainer? Well, the high no-brainer is a low friction, high value entry point product. What's its purpose? It allows potential clients to experience your process and expertise before committing to a full service engagement. Yeah, the continuity. It's positioned as a standalone single outcome solution delivered within a short time frame. standalone single outcome solution. Why? Well, once again, because smaller promises get faster decisions. So once again, that is where we are focusing right now, which is the high no-brainer. Starting at 30,000 feet, we need a frictionless sales process, predictable leads engine, authority, and presence. If we want to dive deeper into this, what are we going to need? A frictionless offer, frictionless conversations, frictionless funnels. If we want to go deeper again into the offer piece, we're going to need a high no-brainer offer, an offer doc, and a power offer, which is a simple way of articulating your high no-brainer. If you aren't able to give someone an offer doc or a pre-step to that event, and that's what we're going to be focusing on right now. So on the screen right now, you can see something called our value matrix. And this is something that we produced to help people get paid more for doing less. This is wild. When I say I'm going to help you get paid more for doing less, people say that's just not possible in my industry. I don't want to offer something that's not of value. I don't want to cheapen what it is that I do. Here's how to simply get paid more while doing less. So on the screen right now, you can see this matrix, and the indice up the left is all about effort. It's all about input. So the effort that you put in, the time that you put in, it's about input. Along the bottom, the indice, we've got low value and we've got high value, which is really about output. It's about the outcomes that you deliver. So I could talk about this as being time as well. Oops, time. This is messing up for me. Time. There we go. And I could talk about this as being outcomes. So this would be high time, lots of time. And this would be high outcomes, lots of outcomes. Good stuff. Everybody's happy. All right, the $1 million question. Which is the quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4 that you do not want to be a part of? 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the quadrant that you do not want to be a part of these 4? Well, the most miserable place to be, use the chatty chat tool. Thank you so much. The most miserable place to be is clearly number 1. That is where we put in a whole lot of time, a whole lot of effort, a whole lot of inputs, and the person gets low value. No one wants to be in this particular space. And what I've found is that businesses that have low retention of customers and clients, high churn, often find themselves in this particular quadrant. And that is because they haven't, in a very long time, taken a step back to audit what it is that they do and what it is that they offer. So they've been doing things a certain way for a long time. And as a result, they're getting high churn, they're getting low retention. When I talk about this time piece, it's not just about the time that you put in, it's also about the time and effort that the client needs to put in. So if the client is putting in a lot of time and they're getting a very low outcome, they're just not gonna stick around. All right, let's jump into the top right. Is the top right okay? High effort, high value. Is this a good place to be? Yes or no? High effort, high value. I'll tell you what this is. Top right. Top right, it's a living. So I'm going to put sort of like a neutral face. It's a living. You know, you can grow a really good business in the top right-hand quadrant. You can make some decent money. You can buy a house, maybe even a holiday house, maybe a boat, by putting in a lot of effort and delivering high value. The problem with offers and services and solutions that are in the top right-hand quadrant is that the only way to scale is to bring on more people. Because if it requires high effort, you need more and more people to deliver that high value. Interesting one, huh? All right, bottom left. This is fun. Bottom left, number 3, good or bad? Do you want to be in bottom left, good or bad, low effort, low value? Where do you want to be? Is that good or bad? Low effort, low value. Perhaps. No. I'll tell you what, this is an interesting thing. I'm going to change the color here. I actually love this one. Big smiley face here. And the reason why is I didn't say no value. I just said low effort, low value. And these are pre-sales products. So have you heard of pre-selling? Jay Abram talked about pre-selling. Anything that you do that's pre-selling is usually going to be in the low effort, low value quadrant. So it could be some free training that you give away. It could be a live event. It could be a webinar. It could be a lead magnet. It could be a short sequence of emails. This is something that is not low. It's not zero value. It's low value that's commensurate with the effort. All the pre-sales products that we have generally fit in this bottom left-hand quadrant. Indeed, a lead magnet for a stranger is probably in the bottom left. And this one here could also be in the bottom left as well too. So I love that space. Now, what is the best space to be? What's going to be the most exciting, best space to be? Of course, you know, is this one here, big, huge smile, fireworks and stars and, and all the wonderful things. And that is when something is low effort on your part and also on the part of the customer, and it's also high value. Why does that work the way that it works? Well, if you look at something like the fuse method, which we talked about last week, which answers the 4 questions that every client needs answered. What do I get? Is this right for me? How quickly before I get a solution? How much effort is required? If you look at something in the bottom right-hand corner, if you can tick those 4 boxes, you end up with something that is absolutely, yeah, baby. It's the sweet spot. And that is because the clients don't need to put in much effort. And if they don't need to put in much effort, it means that you can charge more. If it happens quickly, you can charge more. If it's not tied to billable hours or things that you do, you can charge more. The challenge that I find is that most people don't rarely, if ever, take a step back and analyze the different products and services that they're offering. They fail to audit them according to this particular matrix. So if you're at the top and you'd like to move to the bottom, give me a shout out. Just go, yeah, that's where I want to be. I want to move from top to the bottom, from it's a struggle, it's a living, to it's called pre-selling. Yeah, baby, we call this thing the sweet spot. So if we want to do this, if we want to create a high no-brainer, yeah, guess what? We need 3 things. This is my law of cascading trios. This is what I want you to do. I want you to audit, firstly, what you offer. And I'll go into a little bit more detail so you can see what I'm talking about there. The second thing is I want you to audit what you do for clients. And in this way, we're going to use our brain. We're going to look at the sorts of products and services that we've offered to our clients historically. And then we're going to stop using our own brain and we're going to lean on a very specific tool. What is the specific tool that we're going to lean on? I think that you know, we're going to ask Chat GPT or the other AI tool of your choice. AAA method here for creating a high no-brainer. Audit your offer, audit what you already do, and then use ChatGPT. All right, let's go deeper again. All right, let's look at this first one, auditing your offer. Do you have a product suite? Have you ever costed and itemized the services you already offer? Or indeed, do you have a rate card? Now, on the screen on the left is actually a landscape maintenance service calendar that was put together by a landscape gardener. Now, you're not a landscape gardener. You're in the B2B space, unless you're targeting businesses with gardens. Okay, cool. This is a landscape maintenance service calendar, and OMG, this thing is busy. If you have a look at the stuff on the left, we've got turf, annual color, ground cover, shrubs and vines, and trees. And that is because this particular person audited all the different packages that they already offer and put them into some sort of schedule. And if I go into turf here, you can go a little bit deeper. Turf, grass cycling and edging, match leaf filter with mowers, aerating, dethatching. What the heck is dethatching? Organic compost amendment applications, water management, pest control. These are all things that they offer to their clients. And then, of course, they schedule when they're going to do them for the clients throughout the year. This is a version of rate card, because the smart thing that the business has done here is they have itemized all the different things that they offer. And you can bet your bottom dollar that they know how much each of these things is going to cost to deliver. And if they know how much each of those things is going to cost to deliver, they can put together a program or a proposal which makes sense for them and hopefully their clients too. Now, in your space, you're probably not putting together a landscape maintenance services calendar, but you might have a rate card. Do you have a rate card? Here's an example of a rate card on the right. This is, I think it's a web development agency or a digital marketing agency. And you can see that they've got a digital strategy here, which they're selling for $11,000. They've got a content strategy down here, which they're delivering for $3,000. Below, we've got web apps. And this particular page goes on and on and on and on and on. And it breaks down all the different things that they offer, all the different packages that they offer. Here's my question for you, just a little bit of a pop quiz to have a think about. Should you share your rates or your rate card with potential clients? Let's come back to that. So on the left, we've got the maintenance calendar, breaking it down into things. And then in the middle, we've got a rate card, which is turning things into projects. Then if we have projects, we can turn those things into packages. Now, how do we do this? Well, my recommendation is you pull out a pen and paper, an empty notepad, and just start to scribble. Scribble on a notepad. Go through all the different things that you do for clients, that you've done for clients, thinking back over the last 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 6 years, 12 years. And think about all the different things that you do. And the key word that I'm talking about here is things. So you can see on my bit of paper, I've got landing pages, we craft emails, opt-in gifts, videos, social media, personal branding. Then we might look at these things in terms of projects. And we go, okay, well, if we bundle some of these things together, like landing pages and crafting emails, that would look like a funnel type project. Or if we looked at social media and personal branding, we look at that and we go, well, there's a social media project, right? Then the next question is that, okay, well, if that there is the project, how could I package this to specifically focus on the outcome that the customer or client is getting? So the key word here is outcome. So if I have a look at it and I go, why would I be doing a funnels package? Well, the outcome is lead generation. Why would I do a content marketing package? Well, the outcome is authority and credibility. If I was doing a social media and branding package, it might be both lead generation and authority and credibility. Because if we're going to do this, the most important thing that you can do is identify, wait for it, the things that you do so that you can bundle them into projects. And when you bundle them into projects, you can give them a name that articulates the value, and that becomes a package. The best packages, after we've written our list, combine the audiences and the outcomes. The best packages are designed and named to highlight the outcomes that they were designed to deliver. So one of our most popular programs of all time was something called 16 VIPs in 6, and I'm going to run out of space here. I'll do it like that. 6 weeks. 16 VIPs in 6 weeks. And what we simply said was that if you are a B2B business owner, we're going to show you how to get meetings with 16 very interested prospects in 6 weeks. And we had it 16 VIPs in 6 weeks for B2B business owners. And in doing so, we were able to articulate the fist pumping moment and use case certainty in the same sentence, or indeed the same headline. And guess what? Yeah, we're back at the fuse method. Fist pumping moment plus use case certainty just by naming it intelligently. Because what we did is we audited the things that we offer, broke them down into projects, and then transformed them into outcome-focused packages. So once again, when should you share your rates or rate card with potential clients? Should you ever share your rates and rate cards with potential clients? Well, I shared this slide during a session that I hosted last week. This is Joshua Bell, the famous violinist who spent half a day. Well, he was going to spend an entire day, and I think he spent 2 hours busking in the New York subway. A guy where you'd have to spend hundreds of dollars to get a ticket to see him in concert, playing a $2 million Stradivarius violin. And he made about $35, and $20 came from one person. So how much would you pay this guy to play the violin? Well, outside of context, very little, because you don't know his worth. So when I say pull together a rate card, the main purpose of pulling together a rate card is for you to list and itemize all the things that you do, that you offer, so that you can then transform them into projects, so that you can then transform them into outcome-focused packages. And when you're able to do that, you can pick packages that have high outcome versus low input and audit those things and those packages within the context of the value matrix. All right, audit what you already offer. Now let's audit what you already do. Ooh. So this is repeating the process. It's about identifying, but in this case, we're not going to look at what it is that you offer in terms of a package. We're going to identify every step on the journey before starting the gig. So this is what you do before starting the journey, before starting the gig. So on the left, there might be a step. So imagine you're signing a new customer or client. Again, this is something that you do on a notepad or a piece of paper, but you go, well, what are the things that I do when I'm signing a new customer or client? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do a client interview. I'm probably going to do a little bit of research. I'm probably going to do a little bit of pre-selling. I'm probably going to do some back and forth calls. Probably going to do a little bit of onboarding. These are all the things that a lot of businesses do for free before starting the gig. However, what if we could start to name some of these things? And what if we could start to cost them out? Or look at indeed at the ROI that the client is getting from that thing, or the cost of action if they don't do it. Well, then we get something like this. Well, a client interview could be a 5-stage plan. What's the 5-stage plan? What's the hard cost for that? Well, it might be sitting down with them, doing something together with them. Research. Well, research is not research. It's a situation analysis. Pre-selling. Maybe you could give them a training package. There's all that back and forth calls at the beginning. Strategic support. Onboarding. Let's call that a strategy or a workshop. Now, if we look at each of those things, we might have hard costs. So in this one here, I've like gone, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 10 leads at $10. It's going to cost me $100 to try and give away or sell my 5-page plan. My soft costs are going to be 1 hour. I look at my situation analysis. The soft costs might be 1 hour or 2 hours. Now we've got access to ChatGPT and other things. It could be as low as 30 minutes. Pre-selling, training package. Maybe it will cost you 3 hours to prepare, and then you can use it again and again and again. Back and forth calls. Well, it depends on how many back and forth calls there are. Onboarding, I've done it 1 hour times 8. So like two half days or 1 full day. Then we can analyze these things according to, well, their total cost first. I'd put an audience that's going to match it. But what is the return on investment and what is the cost of inaction? A 5-page plan, the return on investment is very low. But however, the cost of inaction, the value that they're getting when you show them how to avoid mistakes or how to do things faster is much higher. So we can look at fair value for the 5-page plan. It might be $199. The research, the situation analysis might be $997. The training package, $2,000. Strategic support, you could put a dollar value on the time. So it could be a package which it's, like 8 half-hour sessions for $1,000, or, 8 half-hour sessions for $10,000. I don't really like that, because what we're doing is we're putting a price next to time. So this is why I've written priceless. And then we've got some onboarding, strategy workshop, $3,000, $6,000, $12,000, whatever it's going to be. Put all these things together. You can look at the hard costs, you can look at the soft costs, whatever it's going to be. And you look at it and you go, you know what? I'm going to deliver a strategy workshop, which is going to come with a 5-page plan, a situation analysis, a training package, strategic support. And you'll get this and this and this and this and this, which is priceless, for $4,800. And that is because we've analyzed it against ROI and COI. Are you paying attention? Because this is the most important bit of all. These were all things that have value, but they're typically not packaged in a way that demonstrates their value to the clients. Why? Because you don't value them. You've been giving them away for free. Oof. Ooh. Oh no. Which is why when I bring it back to concepts like a product ecosystem, there is a price associated with this on the left. It's probably first name, last name, email address. There is a price associated with this, which could indeed be your time, or it could be a dollar value. Like Troy, who I've introduced to you before, who was on the phone talking with a potential client about the strategy sessions he offers to prospects, normally for free. As he went through the formula, breaking it down into outcomes, things, and feelings, he realized that if I offer this meeting for free, I'm going to sound like an idiot. So when he asked how much the session would cost, I plucked a number from the sky, $1,600 from for the strategy session, and offered that. And he immediately said yes. This is a clear example of someone who is giving away all this stuff or components of this stuff for free, but realized that when he framed it as a package, he was able to put a dollar figure to it and either sell it as an appointment or a high no-brainer, or indeed both. All right, what was the third strategy that we're going to use to create a high no-brainer? So far, I've been asking you to think about what it is that you do and what it is that you offer in terms of the delivery for the client, but also in terms of winning the work. Again, something that most people don't do. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to simply sit down and write 2 lists. The first list of all the things that you do, package them into, run them as things, turn them into projects, then turn them into packages, and then run through that same exercise again, just by tracking the client journey. And when you're able to do that at a glance, you can look at these things. You can look at these things at a glance and say, you know what? This bunch that I've been doing, these things that I've been doing, are up here and here and here. I've got some other ones that are here and here. That's awesome. But you know what? I've got a whole bunch that are here and here and here. And if that's the case, why not? Just why not double down on those things that are high value, low effort for everyone, because that's how you create a scalable business. So offer what it is that you do, offer what it is that you offer. What's number 3? Ask ChatGPT. Yep, it is the absolute ultimate hack, time-saving tool, the ultimate cheat at this point in time in the evolution of technology. And this is what I'm going to be doing with our Momentum Club members right now. We're going to be diving into ChatGPT. If you're a part of that group, if you're a Momentum Club member, what I want you to do is find the email that we've just sent you with the link to the private meeting room. If you are not a Momentum Club member and you want to become a part of that, reach out, say, how do I get involved? How do I become a Momentum Club member? Or simply, here's what I might invite you to do. And that is grab this particular document that you can see on the screen right now that I'm going to go drop into the chat. Whoops, where is it? I'm going to drop this one into the chat, into the chatty chat. Or if you're watching the recording, the link is below. Take the ChatGPT prompts and work through the structure that is described. And before you know it, wham, bam, shazam, you should have a very high quality B+, maybe even a high no-brainer product that you can start to test with your audiences, flesh out, and turn it into the next, newest, greatest thing in your business model that you can sell quickly. That is indeed, of course, a low friction, high value entry point product that is standalone, single outcome that you can deliver in a short time frame, because smaller promises get faster decisions.